everybody, what is going on? Welcome to Regular Josh 1. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button in this video, and if you're new, make sure to subscribe. Episode 3 of Nova Fleet 86 will be coming out very soon. It will be out next Monday. You do not want to miss it. You can find us almost anywhere you find your podcasts. The link to the Spotify will be in the description box down below. Trust me, again, with episode 3, you really do not want to miss it. Well, the new Tom and Jerry movie was released over the weekend on both HBO Max and in theaters. I figured that since I made a couple of videos about this movie, it was only fair that I would watch it and give you guys a full review. I checked it out on Saturday, and man, this was not an easy movie to sit through. I really do not like this movie. Before going into it, I was already hearing some pretty bad reviews about it. I didn't look at too much because I still wanted to be able to form my own opinion, but also go into this movie with an open mind. Now, let me just say, I didn't think I would get so visibly upset when I watched this movie, but there was just some things that happened around the third act that honestly made me lose it. I had to take so many breaks just to be able to fully process some of the stuff that was happening. Scoob didn't even manage to have me just lose my mind when I was watching that movie. Honestly, it's worse than Scoob. How do you even do that? I guess I'll go ahead and start off this review by saying that this movie is just completely bland and boring. Now, you'll want to know why, because the movie mainly focuses on, of course, our human leads. Now, this is something that almost always happens in these live action / animated movies, and that's something I just literally do not understand. The title of the movie is Tom and Jerry, and you only feature them about like maybe 35% of the time. If I'm gonna watch a movie called Tom and Jerry, I want to watch mostly Tom and Jerry. If Sonic the Hedgehog can give us mostly a movie about Sonic the Hedgehog, and if Paddington can do the same thing, then I don't know why some of these other live action / animated movies can't do the same thing. With Tom and Jerry, however, I can kind of understand in a way, considering the fact that they don't talk, and we all know how the last film was when they decided to make them talk.
The greatest gift in life's a friend.
Making an over 90-minute movie about a silent cat and mouse duo who most likely outwit each other and do some crazy antics is not really an easy task to do. That would be like making a Roadrunner movie. I mean, how on earth would you be able to make that work? And I pray to God that Hollywood does not think about doing that. That would just not work. Either way, the story doesn't really revolve around Tom and Jerry, of course not. It revolves around a girl named Kayla, who practically steals someone else's job at a fancy hotel, and she is given the task to work with an event manager to make sure that everything is perfect for the upcoming wedding of a very famous couple. Yes, it's a liar reveal story. How riveting. However, due to Jerry invading the hotel and causing problems, she is now also having to try to get rid of him, so she brings in Tom to get the job done. The story is honestly not that interesting at all. You have Tom and Jerry doing what they do every now and then, but most of the time, you just see Kayla keeping up this lie. May I point out that we basically have no reason to care for this character. In the beginning of the movie, she literally steals someone else's resume and lies to get a job at the hotel. And there wasn't really much motivation for this. It's not like she always wanted to work at this hotel or that this was the job of her dreams. She just sees someone in the hotel ready for an interview, tricks them, and passes off the resume as her own. How am I supposed to root for somebody like that? And of course, throughout the movie, especially in the third act, they try to make us feel for her because no one ever believed in her and all that other stuff. And they try to put in this message about how hard it is for young people to get a good paying job nowadays. Yes, because this totally fits in a movie about Tom and Jerry. Now, if the story wasn't bad enough, the characters themselves really don't help. Most of them are honestly just annoying and so stupid. The only character that I found myself kind of liking in this movie that was actually pretty redeemable was the bride. She was the only one that I cared about in the slightest in this movie. It also didn't really help that the acting in this movie was so bad. I mean, it was clear that everybody was phoning it in. It seemed like the director just told everybody that, hey, this is a movie for very young kids, so just don't try as hard. It just seemed so unnatural, and in a weird way, it made the movie feel so corporate, along with everything else, that all the other things that we have to check on the checklist, along with the pop songs and the pop cultural references and the fart and poop jokes, of course. The voice actors that they chose for this movie when it came to, say, Spike or Butch the Cat and the Alley Cats, also Tom's angel and devil shtick, yeah, those really do not fit those characters, at all. I kept watching the movie, hearing those voices, and they just bothered me so much. It just did not fit at all. If there's anything good I can really say about this movie, I'll at least give them that the animation isn't that bad. I mean, it's not all around perfect, and there's a lot of times when it really doesn't match the real world surroundings in this movie. It can still be nice in some points. It does manage to be able to capture the quickness of the slapstick pretty well, and also, I'm not gonna lie, I do like that they did throw in a couple of references to some of the original shorts. That was a nice touch. Speaking of, I honestly do wish we got more Tom and Jerry in this movie. I mean, the sequences with those two really weren't all that bad. There were some scenes that did manage to make me smile a bit or even let out a soft chuckle. Obviously, we couldn't have the whole movie be about Tom chasing Jerry and Jerry outsmarting him, but I would have liked to have seen way more of that instead of these human characters that we were forced to be stuck with for the majority of the movie. Now, I'm not really quite sure what else I can really say. There was definitely a couple of things that happened within the third act that, if I were able to talk about it, which I'm not going to because that goes into spoilers, I would literally be losing it in this review. I'm not kidding. I would be ranting immensely in this if I was able to talk about it. But again, not going into spoilers. Just know that I really did not like this movie. In fact, I disliked it a whole lot more than I thought I would. Now, kids will most likely like this fine, but I think everyone else that's not a kid probably would most likely not find this entertaining. This movie is just, it's not good. If I had to give it a rating, I would say it's probably a 2 out of 10. The animation is nice, but that's not enough to save this bland and uninspired flick. If you still want to check it out for yourself, by all means, go ahead. It's possible that some of you guys may end up liking this movie, but for me, it is definitely a hard pass. Anyway, that's my video on the new Tom and Jerry movie. Have you guys seen it? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you liked it, if you didn't like it. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this film. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and hit the bell to be notified on my next video. Also, again, ladies and gentlemen, episode 3 of Nova Fleet 86 will be coming out very soon, so I will definitely be keeping you posted on that. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and remember, you're hearing it from a regular bunny in a regular world. See you next time. Baby.